Now, autism is featured heavily in the news of late and is usually viewed as an incurable condition. But Raun Kaufman was born a severely autistic child, and through an innovative home-based program, he emerged as an international lecturer and writer. He's joined us here in studio to tell us how he conquered the condition to lead a normal life. You're very welcome, Raun.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit, first of all, about being diagnosed, because I believe it's a difficult condition to diagnose. You can't take a blood test, for instance.
Oh, yeah, it certainly doesn't have a blood test. However, like many conditions, there are a number of symptoms. A lot of people can look for their child might do repetitive behaviors or gravitate toward routines or will have a lack of eye contact, even preferring inanimate objects over people. But what we think is the most important but sometimes overlooked aspect is that ultimately autism is like a social disconnection. Children are often described as being in their own world. And that's why for many parents the diagnosis is so hard to take, because they're then also told that this is now a lifelong condition and there's not much they can do about it.
Which is pretty appalling, to say the very least. But your parents took a different approach. They said, no, we're not having this. We're going to look into our own roots and see if we can find a way to help Raun emerge from within. So tell us a little bit about that.
But they did something really amazing, because everyone around them was saying, I'm so sorry, you have 2 daughters, focus on them, because your son's going to have to be put in an institution. And what they did instead was, keep in mind that at this time I was totally mute. I had no language. I didn't look at people. I would spend my days spinning plates and flapping my hands. I was in every way in my own world. And what my parents did was they took me home and they constructed from scratch their own home-based child-centered program, where they worked with me for a little over 3 years. And then at the end of that time, I emerged completely from my condition, went on to go to normal schools, graduated with a degree in biomedical ethics from Brown University. And one of the things they did that people were very shocked by, but which we found very effective, is that when I, for instance, did repetitive behaviors like spinning plates, instead of trying to stop me or to take the plate away, they would get a plate, they would get down next to me, and they would actually spin plates with me.
Empathize and identify.
Yes, and that was where the first connection came in. That's when I first started to look at them. And then they used that relationship and connection to teach me what I needed to learn.
Okay, now tell us a little bit about your dad.
Well, my father is an author, and he wrote a book called Sunrise, The Miracle Continues. And my parents themselves started the Autism Treatment Center of America in Sheffield, Massachusetts. And that book became an NBC television movie, which precipitated the beginnings of we have like a non-profit organization in Sheffield.
Right.
And we have programs throughout the year to really help parents to reach and teach their special children.
Okay, and you're over here then for a reason to help promote that and promote the course that you're doing.
Well, what I'm doing actually is I'm traveling around the UK and Ireland, and I'm doing lectures that really just give parents just really down-to-earth, practical breakthrough strategies that they can use immediately to have dramatic benefit for their children. And then we're flying a team of teachers to London in January to do a program called the Sunrise Program Startup. And so if someone really wants an in-depth understanding of all the tools they need to reach their child, they would come to that program.
Well, you have a website, I'm sure, that you're going to get a lot of inquiries about this, I would imagine, after the program. So there's a website there where people can get hold of you and have a look, isn't there?
Yes, that's www.autismtreatment.com. They can also call us. I know that you as a studio have the number. You are going to need to call to book a place at the lecture. The lecture's free. I'm doing a lecture in Dublin on Saturday, which is free, but it's filling up, so you would need to book a space. And then if you wanted to then do the program in January, you could also call us and let us know, because that's another program that's filling.
The lecture is at UCD in Dublin, isn't that right?
Yes. And I will say this. Parents are so often told that there's nothing they can do, and they're discouraged.
Well, I was going to ask you about that, because, I mean, you've come through it, but not every child is going to come through it. So is there a little bit of false hope here? Is that the word you would hear regularly?
It actually, that is a word that I hear a lot. And you know what? You're absolutely right. Certainly, every child's not going to turn out like you. Every child's different. And we don't know the future for every child. But I will say this. I really don't believe in the idea that there's false hope, that hope can be bad or wrong or inappropriate, because bottom line, hope leads to action. Without action, we're not helping any of these children. And I never hear people complaining about false pessimism, about deciding in advance what a 5-year-old or a 3-year-old or a 10-year-old is never going to do for the rest of their life. So we want to really give these children a chance and really help these parents give their children a chance.
Okay, they come along and they do the course. Where do they go after that?
The lecture or the course itself?
The course. Well, after the lecture, there's the course, and then after the course.
If they wanted to do the Sunrise Program Startup in January, then we really give them all the tools to set up the program. So they can then set the program up at home, coordinate with their school, and we can give them ongoing support in their endeavor.
Okay, it's a remarkable story. I mean, the book And there's an award-winning TV show throughout the States as well. I mean, was that a huge surprise for you folks?
Yeah, well, when they decided to make a movie based on the book, we knew that would be something that would really expose this to a lot of other people. And that's the one. The BBC also did a documentary called I Want My Little Boy Back in 1997, which documentary following a family through this experience. And we really find that parents are told a lot of sort of misinformation about autism. They're told what a tragedy it is, and that they're told all the things their child will never be able to do. And they're also told that if they want their child to change, they have to stamp out these, quote, inappropriate behaviors and promote the normal behaviors, when really autism is an interactional disorder. If you want to help these children, rather than forcing them to conform to a world they don't understand, we cross the bridge into their world first, and then we can help them cross the bridge into ours.
Finally, then, what's the success rate? Can you put a figure on it?
Well, we haven't a nonprofit organization, and we haven't done a big study. We're trying to get a university to do that right now. But we have other children who've recovered. We have other children who definitely have it and have challenges, but have really progressed beyond their prognosis.
All right, Ron, you're in UCD this weekend. I'm sure we'll get plenty of calls. We've furnished the details. Ron Kaufman, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Good story. Thank you.